to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel, and we're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have a very special episode about Rockwood Rising. We're going to start off tonight talking with the City of Gresham, the Urban Renewal Department, and here to represent I have Amy Evans, you are the Administrative Assistant, and Robin Stowers, the Senior Project Coordinator for Rockwood Rising. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you here. So the Rockwood Rising project has been in the works for quite a long time, but it's finally gaining momentum, and we're there. We're getting it done. Tell me a little bit about the history of this project and how it got started.
So Rockwood Rising is an urban renewal project, and urban renewal is a program that's created. It's a district that's created, and it was created by the Gresham voters that takes a portion of the property taxes, and it reinvests that money back into that community to make the community more livable. And it was a long process to get it done, and what ends up happening is you have the district, you have all these goals created of what they'd like to achieve, and that resulted in Rockwood Rising. And so you have
this was back in 2003, right? That they voted for this. So this is a long time ago. Yeah. So since then.
So the goals of urban renewal was we wanted a lot of public engagement. We really wanted to create a new town center for the Rockwood area. Okay. We wanted to retain more jobs, and we wanted to focus on parks. There was about 10 goals for our urban renewal plan.
Very ambitious.
And the number one was public involvement. And so because of the public involvement, we did an extensive outreach program that lasted about 3 years for our Rockwood Rising project. And we engaged the community in the visioning of the project to the design of the project. And the visioning, what rose to the top is people wanted opportunities for advancement, economic advancement. And so you have the theme woven into the Rockwood Rising project of community empowerment and economic opportunities. And then they were involved in the design of the project as well.
And that's wonderful to get the community involved, because then you're giving them what they want, right? And I know that I was part of some of that extensive community engagement you did, and it was really a great job. So what people are saying is that they want to thrive and live in place. They want to stay there in that neighborhood and have jobs and live there in a better place than they are now. Is that right? I mean, that's.
Yes.
They want to stay right there.
So yes, all the programs and services are made completely for the people, with focus of the people who live in Rockwood, and how do we develop and help that community.
Great. Now, Amy, you provided us a couple of renderings of what this is going to look like. So I think maybe we should bring those up on the screen. And could you tell us what we're looking at?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can bring those up here.
Yeah, so what you're looking at is a rendering of phase one of the project. Actually, this whole project that we're talking about is phase one of the project. So you see there's 3 buildings there, and in the middle is a public plaza. The community engagement really did inform the design of this. YBA architects, who we'll talk about a little bit later, took vision boards from the community to make this. Over here on the left side of the screen, that's building A. That's what we're going to call our digital innovation hub. So MetroEast Community Media is going to be an anchor tenant there, and we'll hear from them. Work Systems Inc. and then WorkSource Oregon, the employment office, is going to be housed there. Over on the other side, on the right side of the screen, is building B. And that will have about 100 units of workforce housing and retail on the bottom, as well as a medical clinic with a CNA program. So you have people from the neighborhood training and going to the hospital. So it's really the neighborhood serving the neighborhood. Up on top, you see exactly kind of where it is in the neighborhood, right at the triangle of Stark and Burnside, where the Fred Meyer used to be. And right in the middle, you see the plaza with a splash pad and several playgrounds for the kids. And then next to that is Building C, which is what they're calling like the jewel box of Rockwood Rising.
I like that.
We have like a market in there, and then several spaces for micro entrepreneurs, like food cart sized businesses.
So instead of jewels, we'll have good food to pluck out of there, won't we?
Just as good.
And these are going to be a lot of entrepreneurs, right? These are like new startup businesses, and the city's given a lot of help to get these started. And I know we'll hear more about that later on today. So tell me a little bit more about the businesses you're going on. And we're going to hear from MISO. Mount Hood Small Business Development Administration is going to be there, or the Small Business Development Center. And so there's a good variety of organizations that are going to kind of be the anchor tenants.
Yeah, and you'll have services for businesses on site. So people who are just starting their businesses as part of the market hall will have access to help and support and lending like right there, just feet away.
That's wonderful.
And the market hall just isn't focused entirely on starting a new business. It is going to be a mix of businesses, which is a really great model for those starting business because there's always going to be something to learn from. And also
mentors almost, right?
Exactly, which increases the success of those businesses.
Right.
And there's also the commercial kitchens, which as well, it feeds into that model of providing more opportunities for small business development. And a major component of the market hall is providing healthy, culturally specific, affordable foods. And we've been in conversations with other partners of the Oregon Food Bank and Organically Grown and looking at models of how can we work up collaborative buying processes into so we can purchase our products and produce at a lower price so then our vendors can pass on the savings to the community.
So the people that live there can actually eat there.
How is it relevant financially and culturally to the people who are there right now?
And I think that's very important. So the cultural representation of the businesses there and the people that live there, it's going to be pretty diverse, I would imagine, because that's the makeup of the Rockwood neighborhood, right? And I think that was one of the things that were important.
Yes, representation.
Right. So the building D. So we had A, B, and C there, right?
Building D is going to start construction a little bit later than the first three buildings. And if you looked back at that rendering, it was the one that we were kind of standing on top of in that photo. That is going to house a makerspace and an apprenticeship program. So people go in and start with like a machinist or construction apprenticeship program run by POIC, who we will talk to a little bit later.
Okay.
And then they have, through that apprenticeship program, more access to living wage jobs.
Wonderful. So this is the one that you're talking about here, right?
Yeah, so if you see right over there, the RCO building on the right side.
Right, okay, great. That's wonderful.
Makerspace.
So you obviously have a lot of partners in order to make this happen. So tell me a little bit about that and about working with the partners and the developers on this.
Yeah, well, most foundational would be our partnership with RKM Developers. They were selected in 2015 through a competitive bidding process, and this is a public-private partnership, which kind of allows for a lot more resources, and they're providing their own architects, and it's been really great to work with RKM and YBA in that.
And they've had a lot of meetings with the community.
They've been really big in the community engagement.
Right.
Which is very cool. And then several of our other nonprofit partners are going to be doing a lot of the programming and have actually already started, as you'll hear with the rest of the show. Right.
So the people that are so that building D is already full and getting going, ready for this the big startup of this event. This opening. So the timeline for this to unfold. What are we looking at this year? Some groundbreaking. Is that right?
Yeah, tentatively this spring is when we're looking to break ground.
Okay, and so is there any idea how long it's going to be before people are actually moving into the buildings?
We're saying right now
2019, the whole site should be open.
And the response from the community has been overall pretty darn good, I think. I mean, people have concerns, they're worried about gentrification, but I think there's been a lot of work going into trying to keep people here and keep them happy. What else do we need to know about this? Anything?
Well, you can always look at rockwoodrising.com/updates for construction updates, and then also just to learn more about the project. That website's going to be revamped actually pretty soon, so to be more user-friendly and accessible. So come and visit us there.
So for people that don't know, this is at the intersection of Burnside and Stark, and
right on Pedro.
And and that whole area is pretty much fenced off right now while they're working on it. So you're doing a great job. I mean, this is a really exciting project, and I appreciate you coming on today to give us a heads up on what we can expect. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for watching this first segment of Community Hotline. We'll be back with a lot more about Rockwood Rising, so stick around.
Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart, The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels. And by Stamp Connection. MetroEast values the support of our partners in the community, and we'd like to give a very special thanks to the sponsors who help make our programming possible.
Community television. Community television is what participatory democracy is about.
Like my friend Laird Ross says, it's the last great American soapbox.
It gives me a voice.
I'm glad it's available.
It's incredibly important to protect a place where all users of locally based nonprofit media have a place to speak and share their stories.
Hi, I'm Benjamin, and this is Angie.
We're with Multnomah ESD Hospital School Program at Unity Center for Behavioral Health.
Every week, Community Hotline introduces you to local nonprofit organizations like ours, working to improve your world. Tune in.